what were we talking about last week? All right, let's talk about the retreat really fast. We're at the retreat. What an amazing experience. I wanted to come here and kind of share a little bit about, download on you guys, a little bit about what happened at the retreat this last month. What was it? It's been about 3 weeks now, hasn't it, guys? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like yeah.
Amazing. We go there. You get there Friday night. You come in off the world, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get myself ready for a 3-day overnight men's retreat? Well, first of all, one thing I know is you have to get right with God, right? How do you get right with God? How do you even know if you're wrong with God? I guess would be the question. So, yeah, again, I think the number one thing talking about the retreat was going in there Friday night, I think, was a big deal for us to try and get right with God. A couple of ways that we did that was I met with a priest. I met with a deacon. I was able to sit down with him and kind of go through confession with him and go through some of my sinfulness so I can try and clean myself up so I could be ready to receive what God had for me for the weekend. What's another way that we can get right with God?
I think one of the things I saw, especially on Friday night, but throughout the weekend, was an unusual honesty. Right.
Ooh, yeah. Vulnerability. Is that what you're saying?
But unusual. Something that's beyond what we would normally do in our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Beyond what we're capable of without God.
Yeah. No, I like that. And again, I think one of the things I thought about coming here before the podcast, I've been watching these podcasts. I'm usually a person who watches a podcast, so I've been watching them, and I'm thinking, the person at home who's watching this podcast right now, what is the big deal here? The big deal is we have to realize that when we live every single day, when we live according to this world, that there are certain things that we're operating under, our behaviors, our characteristics, that are not according to our Father, right? Not according to God. How do we know that? Well, we know God is holy, right? God is all good. God doesn't have anything sinful within himself. So anything that's sinful within us, we need to really recognize what that is. How do you become aware of your sinfulness?
If you look at the great commandment, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Your relationship with your neighbor is usually a good way to measure your relationship with God.